Hey everybody, welcome to your Vinyasa practice. We're going to continue with pacing our Vinyasa flow with our breath, meaning we prioritize our breath over any sort of depth of movement or even any sort of rhythm of flow. We prioritize the breath and then the movement follows the breath. And so the ratio of breathing, if you weren't with me last week, that's okay. You could always go back and watch the latest Vinyasa flow before this one and get familiar with that breath ratio. We're going to practice it again today. It's 5 counts to inhale and 5 counts to exhale. And we'll see if we can sort of keep that in the foreground throughout our whole practice. There might be moments where it gets away from you, and my invitation to you is not to judge yourself for that, but simply by way of noticing when it's gotten away from you, choose to see that as a success that you've noticed and return to it. And just be gentle with yourself in that. We're going to take a child's pose to begin, and we will practice that breath in child's pose, and then we'll add on some movement. Since this is a vinyasa practice. And we'll keep breathing in that way to the best of our ability. Okay. So settling in a child's pose in whichever way is comfortable for you. Knees could be wide, they could be close together. Arms could be stretched forward or stretched back. You could also fold your hands underneath your forehead for a little pillow. So just let your settle into your child's pose in whatever form it's going to take today. And see if you can gently seal the lips and start to take the air in and out through the nose without any counting. Just see if you can take the air in and out through the nose. See if you can start to take the air a little bit deeper into the body, into the rib cage, maybe into the belly. And then a few rounds of counting here in your child's pose. Begin to inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue counting your breath. So find your own personal 5 counts. Just trying to equalize the breath, both the inhale and the exhale, and to the same ratio. Try that one more round. And then your next inhale breath, coming forward into tabletop for a count of 5. Settle into your tabletop for your exhale. See if you can count that. 5 counts. Inhale for a count of 5. Extend that right leg back and left arm forward. Exhaling, release. 5 count inhale, extending left leg back, right arm forward. Exhaling, release. So these movements are probably slower than what you're used to. See if you can stay with that slow measured pace, inhaling for a count of 5, exhaling for a count of 5. Come back to tabletop, switch sides one more time. Right arm extends forward, left leg extends back. Back to your tabletop, tuck your toes under. Take your hands handprint forward, so wrists are forward of the shoulders. Tucking the toes under, pressing into your flat palm, lift your hips up and back. Relax your head here.
And then start to adjust the hands and the feet so that you can settle into your down dog with a sense of equanimity from right palm, right foot, left foot. And everything that's on the floor is active. That includes the feet. So take a moment here, pick up your 10 toes, probably counterintuitive to what you typically do in down dog. So lifting your 10 toes off the mat if you can, really flex deeply into the ankle joint. See if you can get a little bit heavier in your heel bone. Keep that flexion in the ankle joint and then bring the toes back to the mat and a little bit grip the mat with your toes, just like you would grip the mat with your fingertips. Inhaling for 5 counts. Exhaling for 5 counts. Inhale, shift forward, 5 counts to settle into high plank. Exhaling, 5 counts to set the knees down and come all the way onto the belly. Inhale to low cobra. Exhaling to release out of low cobra. The bottom of your exhale here, tucking the toes under, prepare to press back up to high plank. You can use the support of the knees. Downward facing dog. Settle into your down dog, big breath in, 5 counts inhale, 5 counts exhale. From your downward facing dog, we'll start to lift the heels, bend the knees, and walk the way forward to the top of the mat. When you get to the top of the mat, inhale to your halfway lift. Use the core strength here. Navel hugs into the spine. Feel your back body lift. Exhale, forward fold. Utkatasana, bend your knees, sink your hips. Fingertips remain on the mat for just a moment here. Rock the weight forward towards the toes and back towards the heels. So it's almost like you're in this half forward fold, half squat, half chair pose, and you're just moving the weight forward to the toes and back to the heels. You start to feel like you're passing over the central axis, centering the weight over the arches of the feet. Stay rooted in that stance with your feet and then lift the heart coming into chair pose. Hands can just rest at the heart here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Nice, slow, measured breath. Continue counting your breath. One more inhale here. On your exhale, press into your feet and stand up, top of the mat. Inhale, grow tall through the crown of the head. Exhaling, remain standing. Moving through a few traditional sun salutations to continue establish your rhythm marked by your breath. Your breath will guide you. Inhaling for your own 5 count, arms reach out and up. Exhaling as you're ready into your forward fold. Inhaling to your halfway lift. Exhaling to plant the palms, high plank. Pause in your high plank, 5 counts to inhale. Can you take 5 counts to lower all the way to the belly? Keep your elbows close. And then inhale, low cobra, or if you're ready for it, upward facing dog. Exhaling to make your transition. Could be back towards downward facing dog, could be a supported chaturanga to high plank to down dog, could be child's pose. 2 breath cycles here. Find that equanimous breath, equal inhale, equal exhale. Okay, from your current position, meeting in downward facing dog, lifting the heels, a little bend in those knees, walking your way forward to the top of the mat. As you get there, inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale to your forward fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips, find that chair pose in the lower half of the body. Find that central axis in the feet. Keep that as you sweep the arms forward and up. Option to bring the arms alongside the ears. Breathing in, chair pose. Breathing out, stay. Sink the hips a little bit lower. This time, inhale to press the floor away, stand tall, reach up. Exhale your hands to your heart. One more round of Surya Namaskar A, and then we'll add on. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step to your high plank. Take a full count, 5 count inhale here in your high plank. And then there's that option to lower for 5 counts all the way through chaturanga or supported chaturanga. Inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, make your way back, down dog or child's pose. 2 breaths. Find those full breath cycles. All right, so we'll add on here from downward facing dog. We'll step the right foot forward between the hands. We're going to set up warrior 1. So spin that back foot flat, about a 45-degree angle. Heel toe that right foot off to the upper outer right-hand corner of your mat. So you have a wider stance in your warrior 1. And then see if you can remain facing forward to the top of your mat with your shoulders as you keep that bend in the right knee. But equally press down through the back left foot. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Stay here for your exhale. One more breath here. Now we're going to press that right leg straight, hinging forward from the waist, reaching the hands forward, framing out that front foot, pyramid pose. You can fold the upper body over the front leg. Fingertips can come to the mat to frame out that front foot to help with balance. Deep breath in here. Deep breath out. Feet remain the same. Press down into your left fingertips. Get really long through your left arm. Rotate the right rib cage towards the right. So coming into revolved Trikonasana, triangle pose. The right hand, it can remain on the low back or can reach off to the side or up towards the ceiling. Both feet stay grounded. This is why that wide stance is helpful in the feet. Take one more breath here. Placing equal importance on that exhalation, equal length. And then releasing out of this, stepping back into high plank. Pause there for your 5 count. Inhale. Lower through your 5 count. Exhale. Inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, make your way back to your resting shape. That might be child's pose, that might be down dog. 2 breath cycles. Second side from your down dog, simply stepping that left foot straight forward, Spin that right foot flat. Widen the left foot off to the upper outer left-hand corner of your mat so you have a wide stance with your feet. Deep bend in that left knee. Then lift the chest and the shoulders, arms reaching up and overhead. Feel free to play with your stance here. So in your warrior one, the attempt is to square the shoulders forward, deep bend in that left knee, equal weight in the back foot. As you settle into your warrior one, return to your breath count. Take one more cycle of breath here. Pressing the left leg straight. We're going to hinge forward from the hips, reaching the fingertips forward towards the top of the mat. You can use your fingertips for balance. You can frame out that front left leg. As you hinge over the left leg, you can relax the head. Keep pressing down equally through that right foot, which is the back of your mat. Find your breath here. And then again, adding on revolved triangle. This is why I'm suggesting a wide stance with your feet. So my feet are at the outer edges of my mat. This helps me revolve a little bit more. I'm going to press down into my right fingertips, get really long through my right arm, rotate my rib cage towards the left. Left hand, it can stay at the low back or the hips. It could also stretch out to the side or up towards the ceiling. Don't compromise the breath to get into this shape. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more inhale here. Slow down your exhale just as much as your inhale to release out of that, stepping back into high plank. Full breath in your high plank. That 5 count lower through your exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, make your way up and back. Maybe back towards child's pose, maybe up to down dog. What feels most helpful? What allows you to focus on and prioritize the breath? Okay, one more time through those 3 shapes, that warrior one, pyramid pose, and then revolve triangle. Back to the right side, right foot steps forward. Now you know the stance with your feet. It's going to be a wide stance, bending into that right knee, sweeping the arms forward and up. Warrior one, breathe in. Stay here for your exhale. Breathing in, press the right leg straight, hinge forward, pyramid pose. Full breath in here. Full breath out here. Left fingertips root down underneath that left shoulder. Revolve triangle. Big breath in. Big breath out. Making your transition back to your high plank. In our high plank, we'll pause for that full breath in, and then we'll practice lowering for that full breath out. Give yourself that 5 count inhale to back bend. 5 count exhale to settle back towards child's pose or down dog. One full breath cycle here in between sides. Second side, last time, left foot steps forward. Widen the stance. Inhale, reach the arms up. Full breath cycle here in warrior one.
Press the left leg straight, hinge forward, fold over the left leg, pyramid. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Stay firmly rooted into your right fingertips. Start to rotate the torso towards your left, revolved triangle. Deep breath in here. Deep breath out. Start to unwind out of that, stepping into high plank one more time here through Vinyasa, breathing into prepare. Shifting forward and lowering nice and slow. Find your back bend. Maybe it's one more time through down dog, or if you're ready for child's pose, it's yours to take. All right, so we're going to take a variation on pigeon for our last shape today before Shavasana. Variation because it's a little bit of a twist. So in tabletop, set your knees down in tabletop. Slide that right knee forward towards the right wrist, and then swing your right foot towards the left side of your mat. Okay, so right foot towards the left side of your mat. All the weight shifts over towards that right hip. So now you're seated all the way on your right hip. Both knees are bent a lot. And then we'll hinge forward over this right shin. Okay, you can add props here. You can bring a chair in front of you, a stool, some pillows, blankets, anything you want. And it doesn't really matter how close to the floor you get, but pay attention to the sensation in the outer right hip and glute. The purpose behind bending both knees is that we bypass the stress on the knee and the weight of the body moves deeper into the tissue of the hip and the glute. As we settle into this shape, return to counting your breath. 5 counts on your inhale, 5 counts on your exhale. So again, right now, this is a variation of pigeon. We're hinging forward over the front right shin. We'll take about 3 more breaths here, and then we'll layer on a little bit of a twist in this shape. If you're in that deep fold over your right shin, start to sit up. I'm going to grab a pillow for this next one. I'm feeling a little tight today, so I want some support. Feel free to do the same. Now we're going to, instead of folding forward over the front shin, we're going to turn over towards that right hip. And I have a pillow here. You don't have to have one, but it's kind of nice. I like to use the pillow to frame out my hands, so I'm framing out my hands over the pillow. And then I'll see how far I can get into this. I might walk down to my forearms and elbows. That's feeling pretty tight today. So I might just stay up on my elbows or up on my hands. For those of you that are feeling extremely bendy and this is feeling like, okay, I could go further, you might lay your right chest and right side of the head all the way down onto a prop if you're using it, or towards the floor if it's within reach. So a little bit of twist here, a little bit of compression of right side. Imagine that breath moving into the left lung. Continue to count your breath, 5 counts, inhale, 5 counts, exhale.
Yeah. If you came all the way down onto the forearms and the elbows, start to walk your way back up to your hands. We're going to switch sides now. You can come back through a tabletop and then just slide that left knee forward. Wiggle that left foot across the mat towards the right side of the mat. Left foot kind of wiggles towards the right side. Keeping both knees bent, rolling all the way onto your left hip. So you can see both of my knees are bent. All of my weight's here on my left hip. And then I'm going to hinge straight forward over this left shin. Again, doesn't matter how far you get into this fold. You can add props as desired. And take about a total of 4 breaths here in this forward fold. Nice, slow, measured inhale, equal exhale. Last 2 breaths. If you're deep in that forward fold, start to walk your way back up to your hands. And if you're going to add on a prop here for this last little twist, that prop would go towards that left hip. I'm going to turn so I can still face you. So legs haven't really changed much. You're turning the orientation of your torso more towards your left, adding on that twist. Frame out that bolster if you want, if you're using it. Lower the left chest, left cheek down if that feels accessible. We'll settle in here for a few breath cycles. Two more breaths. If you're deep into this, close to the floor, or laying on your prop, begin to walk your way back up to your hands. We'll begin to unwind and find a final Shavasana. We'll just take a minute in our Shavasana. So if you'd rather stay in an upright seat in meditation, feel free to do that. Set us a timer for a minute, though, to find some stillness and also to find some silence. Do whatever you need to do to get comfortable, using your breath like a guide, a metronome to help you settle into that stillness. Feel free to take longer for Shavasana if you need it, if you can. You need to move on with your day, start to make your way off to a side eventually. Rising up to a very, very brief upright seat. We'll take just a few breath cycles here to close out our practice together. Continue with the 5 count inhale, 5 count exhale, 2 rounds. Settling into your seat, growing tall, empty all the air out. Begin to breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that go. Just allow the breath to return to neutral without any counting. Invitation to join me to close your practice by bringing the hands together at the heart and bowing the chin in towards the chest. Infinite wisdom of the heart space. Taking a moment here to honor your practice with reverence and gratitude. May you remember that you will always be okay. Find a light that guides you and keeps you safe. Have hope, help, and happiness along the way. Namaste, yogis. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you come back again soon. And please, please feel free to leave comments, ask questions, provide suggestions of what you'd like to see at any point in time. I love to hear from you. All right, yogis, take care.